You know what? God says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy always come in the morning. You hear me? And I've had to literally, physically, emotionally, psychologically survive off that scripture. 2024, April 1st of 2024. I took my kids and I away from a shelter we were living at. I was escaping abuse. I created a safety plan. Okay. Does anybody know what a safety plan is? Okay. If you don't, I'm going to let you know. Safety plan is when safety plan is when you're preparing for something, okay? All right, I had to put a safety plan in place because I felt that, and most moms and families do, when you feel like your life is at stake. In shape, way, or form, you create a safety plan. And the relationship I was in, I was tremendously suffering emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, sexually, being gaslighted, manipulated, controlled. And I saw the red flags and I kept giving chance after chance. But I realized how miserable I was in this relationship. I was miserable as a mom, miserable as a wife, just miserable, but still helping other people. I was getting sick all the time. I'm like, no. All right, so I had to start really paying attention. And so I created a safety plan. I got a couple of contacts, emergency contacts. Everyone has an emergency contact, right? So I wrote down some emergency contacts. I called my emergency contacts. I told my emergency contacts what was happening, what I need help with, okay? Once you put a safety plan in place, you want to get numbers, but you also want to reach out to people who can assist you. And that's what I did, right? I put that safety plan in place, to make sure, and a safety plan secures you. When people are escaping abuse, it secures you to go to, you're leaving one shaky foundation to go secure another. Well, I thought that was for me, but I had this experience when I went back home, and my entire safety plan was dismantled. After planning, you guys never know what people go through. I watched a movie as a kid called Enough by Jennifer Lopez. I watched it in 8th grade on repeat. I never understood why I watched it, but I loved to watch it. Well, now at 36, I realized the reason why I loved to watch that movie was because she got fed the fuck up. Okay? She got fed up from a man beating her ass. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, at every shape or form, financially. Okay? And that bitch went to go do something about it. And that's kind of like what happened to me. I just pretty much got fed up of how I was being treated in my life from a man, being forced into a relationship, not out of love, but out of manipulation and control, But I say this out of growth, I speak out of love, not out of hate, not out of despise. Okay, so I put that safety plan in place, and I remember that movie. I'm just fed the fuck up. So I put a safety plan in place that was dismantled. Another part of my safety plan was I called emergency numbers. I called the domestic violence hotline. That's a safety plan. Call somebody you trust. That's a safety plan. Change your phone number. That's a safety plan. Changing your address. That's a safety plan. Not giving your location. That's a safety plan. All right? No call. No show. You like no contact. That's a safety plan. When you are escaping abuse, okay, whether that's physical, psychological, emotional, physical, or sexual, or even spiritual, you cannot be upset that you go no contact. That is the number one. Is, hey, what? Serial stalking was a part of my safety plan. Okay. Also, part of my safety plan was self-care. That has to be involved in your safety plan, okay? And I'm not just talking about putting some makeup on and looking beautiful, okay? I'm talking about make sure you're going to the doctor to check up on your physical health. Make sure you're going to a therapist to check up on your mental health. And make sure you're getting your ass outside and doing something that you love to do, your favorite hobby or something to move your body. So everything can, integrate together while you're going through, all right? Today I want to talk about safety plan because in the midst of adversity, I was driving to Orlando. I was driving after being disappointed by family, friends, and I had took my kids and I to Orlando, scared as hell. I had people down there, but scared as hell, all alone, right? God says, I had to remember that scripture, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but power, love, and of a quiet mind. And when I drove around that city, I had to keep saying the same thing. No matter what solutions I was looking for, I had to keep saying, God, you haven't given me the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. I don't see the answer right now. I don't see the door right now. I don't see the home right now. But I have to trust you. And we landed at the Ritz-Carlton in the Orlando area, right? My kid's like, Mommy, what are we doing? I'm like, I don't know. All right, let's just follow me, okay? Because in that moment, we didn't have a home. In that moment, we didn't have support. In that moment, I didn't have no one telling me that everything was going to be all right. I had to figure out, how do I de-stress all of us at this moment of uncertainty? Okay, I was so uncertain of how I'm going to provide for my family. All right? I took them babies into that Ritz-Carlton, and we just started walking up and down, okay? And then I started walking up and down. I just began to believe God. I'm like, God, I know it's not going to be like this. And I started focusing on what I needed to focus on, me, my company, helping others become one with themselves no matter what they're facing, helping them integrate their inner child and their adulthood while facing hardship, adversity, loss, disappointment, So I took my kids into the Ritz-Carlton. We walking up and down. People looking at me stupid, knew I couldn't pay for the room, never had the money to pay for a room, but I had enough faith. I walked up and down with my heart leaking and bleeding, but my mind was praising God the entire time. My daughter began to cry, my kids began to cry. Like, we can't go have fun, we cannot do none of this. I didn't know what to provide for my kids at that moment. Money couldn't provide what I needed. What we all needed at the moment was stability, shelter. I couldn't provide worry. I couldn't provide uncertainty at the moment. I needed to provide happiness. I needed to provide distraction with something good. So I went up in that place, and they allowed us to walk up and down. And I just began to tell the kids, thank God for it. Walked around the entire Ritz-Carlton, and I said, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to meet my clients here. That's faith, y'all. When you don't have shit, you don't have nothing, you begin to speak those things that are not as though they already were. With the kids, with nowhere to go, sleeping in the car, in the heat, crying, barely got food, barely got money, but looking crazy, still on the phone, still on the computer, trying to figure the damn thing out. Be proud of yourself when no one was there on your team cheering you, okay? I remember in this Ritz-Carlton, I walked past a group of people. It was like this Christian organization. They were having like this big, giant, campaign or something. Anytime somebody see me and they talking about God, guess what? They're going, it's like spark. So I just began to talk to them about God, and they saw our situation. My baby was crying. I was, trying to keep my tears. And I began to just talk to them about God, and they saw our situation, and my heart was just like, man, I got to keep it moving. This is the heart of the people. They saw that I was homeless at the moment. I shared my little bit of my story. Nothing. They went to their campaign, and I was still left in tears, Sometimes all people need is human decency, human hug, a human I love you, a human it's going to be okay. I didn't get that. I was getting, we got a campaign to go to. If you want to pay, you want to go. So I started taking my kids around. I'm like, come on, kids. People can look at us crazy. I don't give a care what they're looking at. This is our situation. This is our story. This is our moment in time. And in that moment, they didn't cry. They just began to look, and they walk around and ask questions. And again, I sat down, I got on my computer, and I just began to trust God, even when I did not know what I was doing. So even when you don't know what you are doing, moms and dads, if you're leaving a toxic relationship or a marriage behind because you don't want to be psychologically, mentally, spiritually, physically, sexually manipulated anymore, do it. Okay? Do it when you are afraid. Do it when you are scared. Your kids are going to thank you later. My kids and I grew from that experience. Our faith grew from that experience. Okay? I did it scared. I'm talking about I was some nights of being alone with my kids on the road, 7 states. I was horribly afraid. Uncertainty is fear. But I had to remove that cloud of uncertainty and just create what we needed in the moment. Whether we needed peace, happiness, stability, emotional stability, emotional security. I began to soothe my kids and me. And each moment we got in the car, we had gas. Each moment we got in the car, we had some food. Each moment we got in the car, we had somewhere to safely lay our head. So continue to create safety plans for your life and for your family. If you see that's something that you are in danger in a relationship, I need you to do something about it. Okay, and that's professional, spiritual, or personal. Okay, this starts with creating a safety plan, or even yourself. If you feel that you're not safe with yourself, I need you to create you a safety plan. Okay, if you feel like you're about to break down and crash out and do all, no. I need you to stop first. Breathe. Okay. And write some things down, okay? And go get some help, all right? But don't give up on yourself even when you don't see the answer. And don't allow other people's, other people ignoring you or dismantling you or not believing in you or whatever they want. Okay, use that as your stepping stone, okay? Get up. You can do this, king and queens, boys and girls all across the world. I'm a 36-year-old mom doing it for the past 5 years consistently, no matter what it looked like. So go create a safety plan, okay? So you feel emotionally safe, psychologically safe, physically safe, all right? And don't let anyone dismantle your safety plan. And if it's dismantled, create a new one. Okay, so don't feel bad for changing your number, changing your email, changing your mail, doing what you have to do to keep you, yourself, and your family safe, okay? This is the product of keeping myself safe, okay? Pouring back into yourself, making sure that no matter what catastrophic thing that you are experiencing in your life, that you physically take care of yourself, emotionally take care of yourself, mentally take care of yourself, and please spiritually take care of yourself. I love you very much, okay? To the entire world, I love you. Go be great. Go heal. Go GROW. And sometimes the only way to grow is we pour into one another. All right? Let's be the solution for one another. Okay? I love you with the love of God. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, so if I trigger you, please click, swipe, go left, go right, but please respect me as I respect you. All right? You have the right to go look at someone else's content that works for you. All right? I love you, world, with much respect, much peace, much power. Love you.